And Jesus said, "Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house."
Where people and nations are divided between rich and poor, powerful and powerless, where a few appropriates for themselves the resources that are patrimony of all, where unjust social structures reduce the crown of creation to the wretched of the earth, there is underdevelopment. Underdevelopment is a new word for sin. I think there are 3 paragraphs, but this one paragraph emphasizes that we talk about sin in religion, but in terms of social service and development, liberation and human transformation, I think sin has to be seen very differently. It's not necessarily something immoral, but something much deeper that goes socio-economic, political, philosophical, everything, that ultimately that alienates people from the fruits of the creation, that dehumanizes people, that make people without personality, without identity, without future, that perpetuating that situation or not interacting against that situation itself is a sin. And that has to be interpreted as a religious obligation to remove that sin from society.
In 1978, an organization came to light that cast the shadows away. The Synodical Board of Social Services is the development wing of the Church of North India. Set up to consecrate the Church's long-standing commitment to society, SBSS works to transform identities through the actions of ordinary people.
In 1977, when they appointed me chairman, we felt that this board is a very important board because it reflects the real love and compassion of the Church. And that has to be expressed and demonstrated in today's situation.
The 24 dioceses of SBSS, spread over 3/4 geographical area of India, undertake a lot of people-centered participatory development programs, consultancy support, capacity building, lobbying advocacy networking, documentation, and dynamic two-way information exchange, and very significantly, raising a lot of key national issues.
See, the Church of North India has chosen 3 main areas in which as a body we express ourselves in the world, and these 3 are unity, witness and service.
SBSS is striving to fulfill its social responsibility using the principle of sustainable development and capacitation of the communities. These are challenging aspirations, arduous but not unattainable. At the same time, SBSS knows that to be genuinely fruitful and to reach out to the last person in every community, programs must come from the people themselves and not be imposed by others. Empowering self-help is without doubt the only strategy and perhaps the best solution. With this proposition in mind, each diocese undertakes projects quite different from the other.
In Assam diocese also, as we started our work, we thought women cannot help us or cannot do because they are in the kitchen only, they can do household work only. We started with the manfolk. In the course of time, we have seen they are not up to the expectation. Then we started forming the self-help group among the women. You see, within 1 year, we could see the changes. The women's group there, who have not seen the bank, not seen the town, not seen the passbook, cash book, they are very happy then. We can go to bank. That bank people also talking with us. So that उनका जो सोच था, हम कुछ नहीं कर सकते, हम नीचे हैं, घर में रहेंगे. And for them the bank manager is a साहब, बड़ा साहब. वो साहब भी हमसे बात करता है, हमें बैठने को बोलता है. तो that change has come.
Mumbai, with its worst urban slums, is a gaping example of how globalization is adversely affecting the poor. Here, it is the slum children who need urgent help.
On the pavements and on the roads, a lot of children you will find moving around. They earn their own living. maybe with selling the cinema tickets or pickpocketers or collecting their grabs or anything they live on. And so we usually work among them, and some of them we send night school or some special schools of language wise or culture wise. There are different areas of the school, and so we invest the life of the children in a different ways, so that they grow up there, and once they grow up, then they become a good citizen.
Armed with a strong force of over 300 social activists, SPSS is currently targeting as many as 2,500 communities. To make the programs effective, the grassroots level workers are often the members of the very communities they seek to empower. They speak their language and share their problems.
Our workers are particularly from the same clan, Santals, so that they can communicate their issues to them, and they can understand well their problems.
As the enabling body, SPSS has undertaken a lot of issue-based programs at the Dacian level. History bears witness that the fate of a nation is conjoined with that of its women. Profoundly affected in a negative way by our unjust social practices, women have been victimized for centuries. The tragedy is heightened from the fact that 55 years after independence, our women continue to dance limply to that impartial symphony. It is these women in far-flung villages which are SPSS's primary concern. The village of Budhera, 100 kilometers from Agra, is one of the various workshops where women are awakening to a new beginning. The synergies are all too palpable under the neem tree, which has become a virtual classroom for the women of Budhera. Groups of enthusiastic women, some even with a small child, will do anything but miss their class. This is their first brush with education, and they know the benefits too.
DDSS से मतलब ये है कि हम किसी से बात नहीं कर पाते, लेकिन हम मतलब ये जाने के गड्ढे में पड़े थे, गड्ढे में, लेकिन अब हमको DDSS से मतलब हमको रास्ता दिखाई दे रही है और हम तुम लोगों से बात कर रहे हैं। हम मीटिंग में भी जाते हैं, वहाँ पे भी बोलते हैं आगरा, और अपना बच्चों को भी लाभ उठा रहे हैं, लड़कियों का भी लाभ उठा रहे हैं कि हम पढ़ने को भेज रहे हैं और लड़कियों को भी पढ़ाना चाहते हैं कि हमारी बच्ची भी पढ़ जाए।
But all this did not happen overnight. Mithilesh, the village social worker, is out every morning interacting with the women and motivating them. Initially, even she was looked upon with suspicion.
हमको कई जगह ऐसी परेशानियां मिली कि कुछ तो लोग हंसी मजाक करते थे रास्ते में बैठ करके, पुरुष वर्ग, कुछ लड़के, कुछ ऐसी टाल मटोल की भी बातें करते थे, लेकिन हम उन सब बातों को अनसुनी करके अपना काम करने के लिए अपना कदम बढ़ाते ही रहे हैं.
As the education campaign gained momentum, women acquired a mind of their own, began to think for themselves. Somewhere in the village, a woman is learning to write her first letter. Surely, communication with the outside world has begun. The result, the women of Budhera are now becoming active groups of resistance. They are voicing their needs and are itching to be heard through a rally. They are demanding water in this year of drought. They are marching to the music of a different beat, the first notes of which were strung by the SPSS.
जब हम लोगों ने आकर यहाँ पर देखा तो लोग अपने जो मौलिक अधिकार हैं उनके उस मौलिक अधिकार के प्रति अज्ञान थे. उनको कुछ भी नहीं मालूम था कि हमारे क्या अधिकार है. इसके लिए उनका शोषण बहुत होता था. दूसरा, महिलाओं की स्थिति भी बहुत अच्छी नहीं थी. उनको काफ़ी नीचे नज़र से देखा जाता. दूसरा, वो संगठित भी नहीं हो पाती थी, ना पढ़ने लिखने की सोच पाती थी. तो ये यहाँ की काफ़ी समस्या थी. इनका एक्सप्लॉयटेशन बहुत ज़्यादा होता था क्योंकि ये लोग अपने राइट के बारे में बिल्कुल भी नहीं जानते थे. तो जो भी कुछ गवर्नमेंट से इनको फैसिलिटीज़ मिलनी चाहिए या कुछ भी और चीज़ मिलनी चाहिए वो नहीं मिल पाती थी इनको. और बीच में जो लोग थे वो इनको दलाल वो सब ले आते थे. तो ये सोच के हम लोगों ने फिर इस एरिया का चयन किया है और अभी हम इनके साथ इनको अपने अधिकारों के बारे में जो भी इनके बेसिक नीड बेसिक राइट हैं, मौलिक अधिकार हैं, जो वो हम अवेयरनेस बिल्डिंग कर रहे हैं इनके अंदर.
To confront the root causes of centuries of alienation and bondage, people have to be organized so that they can creatively engage with the existing power structures and, more importantly, recognize and utilize opportunities for economic upliftment. SPSS's way of addressing this need is through a program of the Diocese of Amritsar. Socio-Economic Development Program, popularly known as the SEDP, presents a classic case of how it can help change people's lives. The village Sito is an interesting model to gauge the extent of SEDP's involvement with the people. Sito, like the rest of Amritsar, is primarily a farming zone. The villages are mostly Dalits and landless farmers. It is written on these faces that they have been persecuted, but they are not forsaken. They have been cast down, but not destroyed. SEDP tried to inject back hope amongst these farmers by bringing them together under the various village level committees.
SEDP ने हमारे गांव में जाकर के सब लोगों को मोटिवेट किया और हर गांव में छोटी छोटी कमेटियां बनाई हैं और फिर एक एरिया लेवल कमेटियां बनाई जड़ियाँ हर गांव में से एक एक आदमी को लिया गया। फिर तहसील लेवल पे कमेटियां बनी हुई हैं तो जब कोई निक्की कमेटी से काम नहीं होता तब एरिया कमेटी काम करती है। जब एरिया कमेटी काम नहीं करती तो फिर वो काम चला जाता है जिला लेवल पे।
SEDP workers then went about addressing each and every committee, each and every farmer, and apprised them of their rights over their lands.
कहदा को पानी डक सकिया कदी कहदा को राह डक सकदा ते जे कोई राह नहीं डक सकदा जे कोई पानी नहीं डक सकदा फिर सानू खेतां जानो किदां को डक दूंगा भाई।
They were made aware of how law could be used to safeguard what was theirs.
From the very beginning, it started as a people's movement. The people we organized were the landless laborers first. Not landless laborers only, but they were farming on the government land. The landlords who were influential with the having conspiracy with the local officials and politicians, they got the land. They got the land on it auctioned in the officer's office. Nobody knew it.
पता चलना था कैसे हमें कोई उसका बारे कोई खबर भी नहीं होती थी कि बोली किस दिन होनी है। तो SEDP जब होंद में आई तो इन्होंने गांव-गांव में जाके लोगों को मोटिवेट किया, जागृत किया और लोगों ने फिर धरने देने शुरू किए। कई बार ऐसा हुआ कि ट्रैफिक जाम करनी पई, रैलियां करनी पई। तो उसका नतीजा ये होया कि जी बोली है फिर शरेआम जी होने लगी जिसमें मोटे लोगों को जोड़ा है वो काफ़ी फायदा होया। ये जोड़ा है वो SEDP का बहुत ज़्यादा सहयोग मिला लोगों को।
Once sensitized, the people began to act on their own.
साडे ऊपर बहुत सालों से अत्याचार हो रहा है, बस आगे से नहीं होने देंगे।
हमारी जमीन है, हम ही उस जमीन पर मजदूरी कर रहे हैं।
More than 59 of these village level committees have been registered and converted into Samajik Vikas Sangatans. This is a step towards financial self-reliance. These Sangatans maintain their own bank accounts and logbooks of the money collected. This money can be put to various uses in times of need.
गांव के दलित वर्ग कम्युनिटी है, जो दलित वर्ग के लोग हैं, ये जब इनको पैसे की ज़रूरत होती है तो जो ज़मींदार से 10 रुपये ब्याज पे या 5 रुपये ब्याज से लेते हैं, तो क्यों ना कि ऐसा ही सिस्टम शुरू किया जाए कि ये पैसा भी इनका अपना हो और इस्तेमाल भी ये खुद ही करे। तो इसी तरह से जब ये ग्रुप शुरू होता है तो 13 मेंबर से शुरू होता है। ये 13 मेंबर खुद ये सलाह करते हैं, खुद सोच विचार करते हैं कि हमने 50 रुपये महीना रखना है अपनी बचत या 100 रुपये रखना है। जैसे कि 50 रुपये अगर हम रख लेते हैं तो 13 मेंबर जो हर महीने 50-50 रुपये जमा करेंगे और ये पैसा जो जमा होता है ये अपने इस्तेमाल के लिए इस्तेमाल करते हैं इसको, जैसे कि ज़रूरत के मुताबिक।
Poverty affects the overall quality of life, but perhaps its worst victims are children. With no access to public schools, good nutrition and health services, these childhoods are sealed in the dark abysses of illiteracy, hunger and disease. Though SEDP is no substitute to formal education, which is the responsibility of the government, it endeavors to give these children basic education, nevertheless a holistic one through community coaching centers.
कम्युनिटी ट्रेनिंग सेंटर जो है जिसमें दिन में यहाँ पे डे क्लासेस होती है बच्चों की और शाम को इवनिंग क्लासें होती है जिसमें बच्चे 5 रुपए के हिसाब से कंट्रीब्यूट करते हैं और उसके अलावा हम संपूर्ण विकास, बच्चों के संपूर्ण विकास की बात बच्चों के साथ की जाती है, जिसमें इन्वायरमेंट है, हेल्थ है इत्यादि, मतलब और विषयों के साथ मतलब बच्चों को शिक्षा में जोड़ा जाता है।
There are as many as 25 such centers. Here, their minds are being ignited to break the vicious cycle of exploitation which their fathers and forefathers were engulfed into. Other than these main programs, SEDP, true to its promise of sustainable development and a secure future, organizes plantation programs. Trees are planted as a part of this drive. Conceptualizing and implementing these programs across 24 dioceses is no mean task. The CNI SPSS family must meet at a common platform to keep itself focused, to continue to evolve itself into an organization that has a life of its own. That's why the need for annual meetings.
The use of the annual meeting is that I am given an opportunity to share what is going on in my diocese. At the same time, it helps me to learn what is going on in other dioceses. At the same time, it's given me energy that I need to go forward in struggling for the people.
The annual meeting is a 3 to 4 day event. It is a gathering of 24 bishops, 24 DBSS coordinators, 15 board members, and other key personnel. It is a time for reflection, retrospection, and a renewed resolve towards making tomorrow better and brighter.
We are part of the Church of North India. We are the wing of the Church of North India. We go along with the church, and as long as the church exists, this program will continue. And as the world changes from time to time, situations change, contexts change, we believe that the services of the board will also have to change according to the times, according to the situations. And this ministry will go on because, and this is what binds all the 23 dioceses together, because we believe that we are doing the mission and the commission of Jesus Christ.